Let's go for a walk in the forest to look for signs of spring. Is this a sign of spring? No, because that plant is a coniferous plant. It was green all winter long. Here are some green plants starting to grow. You can see the buds just beginning on these branches. Here's a whole bunch of them close together. This is right by the edge of the path where there's more sun. Do you see the yellow in those trees in the distance? Those are willows, and that's the sign that the willows are budding. Here's a whole bunch of grass that's starting to grow. And there are other little plants as well. The green stuff over there is not grass. It's floating on the water, and it's called duckweed. The green stuff growing over there by the river is called moss. Moss loves to grow in wet places, so I'm not surprised to see a lot of it there. Here's some more moss growing on a log. Here's an old tree stump, and it's amazing to see the things that grow right out front of it. This grass here is going straight from it. This is dead grass from last year, but new grass will grow here as well. And here's some moss growing so nicely, and here's some other moss. It's really quite beautiful the way that nature recycles things. This wood will become plants again, and over time will disintegrate. At first sight, it doesn't look like there's many signs of spring here, but when you look closely, they're actually everywhere. Here's a little plant. Here's a little leaf. Over here there's something growing. Over here, another piece of grass, another piece of grass. Here too. Here, and here's some moss. They have to push through all of the layer of dead leaves on the very top. But very soon, this will look a lot different. The color will have changed. This is not a sign of spring, but I just want to talk about it. What you're seeing there is a boulder, and that rock, that boulder, is called an erratic boulder. It does not belong here. It's not part of the kind of rocks that we usually find here. But it was dragged here and deposited here by a glacier a long time ago. And it's still sitting there after all this time. This bush is showing lovely signs of spring. You can see all the little red buds that are appearing on these very green branches. It's just magnificent to look at. This is the greenest patch I've seen anywhere. And I think it's because there's a lot of water here. And so the water is helping the plants grow. In some places, like down there, you can see that there's too much water, and so the plants can't grow. But as soon as there's a bit of height, it takes the water from nearby and grows really likely. This is not a sign of spring, but these things are tons of fun. These are called burrs. And if you look at them carefully, you can see that they have little hooks on the outside of them all the way around. And what those hooks are good for is sticking to things. There you go. And the reason why the plant does that is so that an animal rubs up against them, and then the burrs get stuck to their fur, and then they take it somewhere else, and eventually it falls off, and then poof, the seeds are in a new spot. Here's another sign of spring. I can't see it, but I can hear it. These are not signs of spring, but there's some interesting things in the trees here. I think the one over here is a squirrel's nest, and I think the one over there is a wasp's nest. But they're so far away it's hard to tell. The reason I think this one is a squirrel's nest is because I can see a bit of leaves hanging out the bottom of them. That one looks much rounder and smoother, which is what a wasp's nest looks like. What signs of spring have you seen?